Welcome to the deep dive. Ready to dive into a classic whodunit?
Oh, I love a good whodunit.
This one is called The Secret Document. Set in the English countryside, we've got excerpts from the book.
Really getting into the nitty-gritty then.
Exactly. The story starts with a missing document. It belonged to Sir Philip Harrogate.
And this document, it's not just any old paper, is it?
Not at all. Supposedly, it could tilt the scales of power. Makes you wonder what could be so powerful about a single document.
The classic MacGuffin. Drives the plot, but its true nature. A mystery for a good chunk of the story. It's all about the impact on the characters, you see.
We've got a cast of suspicious characters, each with their own secrets.
Oh, I do love a good cast of suspects.
First, we've got Lady Eleanor Whitcomb. Seems to have a hidden connection to Sir Harrogate.
And then there's Major Henry Braithwaite. Suspicious of everyone right from the start.
Oh, and we can't forget Miss Rosamilly, the governess. She's incredibly observant. Seems to pick up on things others miss.
Always a sharp one in the mix.
And then there's the charming but potentially dangerous Lord Harcourt Dunsley.
Ah, the charming one. Never quite know what they're hiding.
The author does a great job of making you question everyone's motives. And just when you think you're starting to get a handle on things, we get a cryptic note.
Ooh, a cryptic note. Those are the best.
It says the truth is hidden in plain sight. Trust none but the shadow. What do you make of that?
Oh, that's brilliant. It sets the tone for the whole story, really highlights the deception. Things are not always what they seem, and the way each character reacts to it, well, tells you a lot about them.
Lady Eleanor, for instance. She seemed to recognize the handwriting.
Suggesting a deeper connection there, perhaps.
Then we've got Inspector Callahan entering the scene. He's a sharp detective, doesn't buy into anyone's facade.
Ah, the detective. The one to shake things up.
He immediately starts poking holes in Lord Dunsley's theory that the note is a diversion. But then Callahan drops a bombshell. He reveals letters found in Sir Harrogate's study addressed to Lady Eleanor, mentioning her late husband, Major Braithwaite. Now that's a twist. What a twist, right? It makes you wonder if the Major's initial suspicions were more than just a distrustful nature.
Could be on something there.
Callahan seems to be implying that everyone has something to hide. He even says, in matters such as these, secrets rarely stay buried.
That line, it sends shivers down your spine.
It really does. And just as we get engrossed in this investigation, we're introduced to a young woman named Evelyn.
A new character, eh? Always keeps things interesting.
She receives a creepy note. It says, "The night of truth comes. Watch the mirror." Feels like a completely different mystery, but there's this sense of foreboding.
Two mysteries, perhaps intertwined.
Possibly. Then to make things even more complicated, Inspector Harrington arrives with news of Sir Montague's death.
Another death.
And guess what? A document is missing.
Well. Starting to see a pattern here.
Sir Montague was a guest at the ball Evelyn attended. Could be a connection.
A link between the two mysteries.
And then, Edward confirms seeing a mysterious figure watching Evelyn's house. This figure vanishes, but not before leaving another note. The game is not yours alone.
Someone's playing with fire, it seems.
Someone is orchestrating events, manipulating people, raises the stakes.
Definitely. Makes you wonder, he's behind it all.
Exactly. And then we meet Julian Cartwright.
A new player enters the game.
He claims to have information about the document and drops a bombshell. There's a betrayer within Evelyn's inner circle.
Oh, another twist. Can't trust anyone in this story.
That's for sure. Cartwright claims that this betrayer wants revenge. The document's just a pawn in their game.
A pawn, you say? What if Cartwright isn't being entirely truthful?
Good point. We know very little about him, and his sudden appearance raises more questions than it answers.
Now, just when you think things can't get more complicated, Dr. Langley makes a shocking discovery.
This is a good one.
He's examining a ledger from Cartwright's office, and it turns out Cartwright himself is involved in this scheme. And he's not alone. His accomplice is the seemingly proper Lady Beatrice.
Lady Beatrice. No way.
Yes way. It makes you wonder what other secrets are lurking beneath the surface.
And who else might be involved in this web of deceit?
That's what we're going to uncover next time.
Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive into The Secret Document. We'll be unraveling the motives and machinations of these newly revealed players.
Welcome back to our deep dive into The Secret Document. Picking up where we left off, Julian Cartwright and Lady Beatrice, they're in on this scheme. Really changes things, doesn't it?
It's a complete shocker. I mean, Cartwright, we thought he was an ally. And Lady Beatrice, always so composed, Now we're left wondering, who can we trust? And what's their end game?
It's what makes this story so captivating, keeps us guessing. This revelation, though, adds a whole other layer to the mystery. Gotta re-examine everything we thought we knew.
One thing that's bothering me is Lady Beatrice, her motive. We know she confessed, feeling overlooked, dismissed, wanting to reclaim what she felt was rightfully hers. But is that really all there is to it?
It's possible, isn't it? There could be more to it. Maybe her confession, a way to deflect suspicion, making herself seem like a victim, not a mastermind.
Playing the victim, you mean?
Exactly. Perhaps she's driven by something deeper, resentment, a hunger for power, more than just reclaiming what she lost.
Ooh, now that's interesting. Makes you think, has she been playing everyone this whole time? Using her demeanor to manipulate those around her?
And let's not forget about Julian Cartwright. He says his motive, exposing the betrayer, but we know he's not being totally straight with us. What's his real agenda? Is he just a master manipulator? Thrives on chaos.
Could be. Also, the document itself, I keep thinking about it. We know it's got evidence of a past betrayal. But what if there's something more? Something sinister, something that could be used for blackmail.
Blackmail, you say? Now that would be a twist.
Imagine it reveals a scandalous secret, a powerful family, a respected person. They'd do anything to keep it quiet, right?
Absolutely. They'd be vulnerable. Manipulation, extortion, anything to keep it under wraps.
That would explain the secrecy, the deception. Everyone's playing a dangerous game, high stakes.
High stakes indeed. And speaking of dangerous games, let's go back to Evelyn and that cryptic note. The night of truth comes. Watch the mirror. Chilling, isn't it?
Totally. And then Sir Montague, he had that document murdered after the ball Evelyn attended. More and more, I think, these mysteries, they have to be connected.
Possible. Very possible. What if the documents, they're both part of the same puzzle, different pieces? Sir Montague's document, maybe it had the key to understanding the betrayal in the stolen one.
Wow, that's a thought. So whoever's behind this, they're playing a very, very complex game, orchestrating everything, using people like pawns.
And don't forget the mysterious figure watching Evelyn's house. Vanished, but left a note. The game is not yours alone. Almost like a warning, isn't it?
We're watching you, they're saying. Underscores the danger, for sure.
Brings us back to Charles St. John's confession. Dr. Fenwick's death, the threats, the clues. He admits to it all. But what if he's not the mastermind? Just another pawn.
Like Lady Beatrice said about Cartwright, he promised a way that would end in no harm. He lied. Makes you think Cartwright was using her desire for revenge. Could he have done the same with Charles St. John?
Exploiting his vulnerabilities? Yes, could be. Cartwright, he's all about control, deception. Maybe he is the puppet master.
But if that's true, why go through all this? What's he really after?
That's the million-dollar question. We need to dig deeper, beyond the confessions, the surface motivations. Look for those hidden connections, the subtle clues.
It's like a puzzle. With every new piece, another layer is revealed. We're constantly questioning everything.
And that's what makes the secret document so gripping. It makes you think about human nature, the power of secrets.
So, as we head into the final part of our deep dive, the question remains, who is the puppet master? Is it Cartwright, or is there someone else? Someone we haven't even considered. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're at the climax of the secret document. The big question, who's the puppet master?
So many suspects, betrayals, hidden motives. But the one really in control, still hidden, aren't they?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it nonstop. Could it be Cartwright? He's definitely got the skills, manipulating people, those complex schemes.
He does fit the bill, cunning, manipulative. But are we sure he's not a pawn himself?
You're right, someone even more ruthless could be using him.
This document, it's not just any document. Think about the stakes. Evidence of a huge betrayal could ruin people, topple empires even.
Someone with that much to lose, they'd do anything to keep it secret.
Exactly. What if it's not just one person, but like a secret society, controlling things for decades, using the document for power?
Now that you say it, it all makes sense. We were so focused on the individuals, we didn't see the bigger picture. A secret society, they could be using everyone. Cartwright, Lady Beatrice, even Charles St. John.
It would explain why everyone's so scared, so paranoid. They're not just protecting themselves, they're protecting something much bigger.
And Evelyn, that missing document from Sir Montague, what if it threatened this secret society? Maybe he got too close and they had to silence him.
It's a long game they're playing. Decades, manipulating so many lives. Scary to think about, but it fits, doesn't it? All the intrigue, the deception.
Those notes Evelyn got. The night of truth comes, watch the mirror, and the game is not yours alone. Warnings, maybe. Someone inside the society disagreeing with what they're doing.
Ooh, an internal struggle. That's an interesting thought. Some want to keep things hidden, others want the truth out. Makes you wonder, who really has the control?
Truth, it's been twisted, manipulated, buried into all these lies. This document, it's the hidden truth, and it's disrupting everything.
Makes you think, what's the price of keeping secrets? Who gets to decide what we know, what stays hidden?
Exactly. And this book, The Secret Document, it doesn't give us easy answers. It makes you think about truth, power, the consequences of all these lies. And even though we know the players, there's still that feeling that it's not over.
It really makes you think.
It does. So we've reached the end of our deep dive, but the question remains, in a world ruled by secrets, can the truth ever really come out?
That's for each of us to decide, isn't it? This story, it makes us question everything. It makes us look deeper, search for the truth, even when it's right in front of us. Thanks for joining our deep dive.